Are you listening? In a lane, snow is glistening. Beautiful sight, perhaps in the night, walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay, a new bird who sings a love song as we go along, walking in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's Parson Brown. He'll say, are you ready? We'll say, no man, but you can do the job when you're in town. Later on, we'll conspire as we dream by the fire, the father can play. Here's no more way, walking in a winter wonderland. Meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he's a circus clown. We'll have lots of fun with Mr. Snowman to some little kitty knocks him down. Later on we'll conspire as we dream by the fire, the father can play. The earth's no more way, walking in a winter wonderland. Walking in a winter wonderland, walking in a winter wonderland. We were walking in a winter wonderland.
Ha ha! There you go. And I know, while you people were listening, you were saying, wait a minute, it's only the 28th of October. What is he doing? Well, there are parts of this United States that already got snow, but as I told you yesterday, and they confirmed it again today, hey, get that horse out of here, son of a... Zeta, Greta, whatever the frig its name is coming with some force to it, and winds, and of course a lot of moisture, and it's going to meet with the cold front that's coming down, and it's going to create snow throughout Jersey, Pennsylvania, northern Connecticut, upstate New York, and oh really? Okay. So I said, you know what? Let me just start it now and get everybody set for it, because it's coming. So everybody, welcome Wednesday, October 28th, 2020, to Sonny the Songfather Grosso podcast number. Who the hell knows? Who cares? Just keep them coming. I love casting pod. I really do. It's fun. And I'm into day number 4. Let's call it 3.5 of no cigarettes. And I got to tell you, it's been not the craving part. I don't crave a cigarette. I've noticed during certain times it's a habit just to go to reach for one, but I've been feeling like I was getting ready to call the priest in to do last rites, because and I looked it up because I am a due diligent kind of person, which you all know, and I did look it up, and it says for many people, when you quit, especially if you go cold turkey without the patch or hypnosis or whatever, you develop flu-like symptoms, and to the point where it's actual fever. And I had, for 2 days, I had a low-grade fever, and I felt like I had the flu. I mean, it was just like the weirdest feeling, and I'm starting to come out of it, and I noticed my sinus cavities opening up a little bit more, and the breathing has never been a problem for me, but I don't know, it seems clearer. The smell, the smell is gone. It's really weird. It's only in 4 days, and they said about another 4 days or so, you'll feel better, and the nicotine and everything else will be totally. Oh my God! I'm watching a squirrel hang upside down right now outside my window. It's amazing how they do that. I mean, I know they don't weigh like elephants or dogs or anything, but, you know, he's not the skinniest of branches. That's confidence, boy. That's confidence, not even in the branch. That's confidence in yourself, that if the branch gives way or you fall, you have enough strength and enough knowledge and enough braveness in you to know you're going to land on your feet and you'll be okay. Wow. I just learned a lesson there. When I was growing up, from the time, I wish you could see it, from the time, I was a kid all the way up until I was like 15 years old. I had recurring nightmares. That even before we moved out to the island of Long from the Bronx, that I was being chased by squirrels, and it would always end up that I think it was because I always thought they were like cute little things. You know, they were a little darker in the city, probably from the soot. But I always thought they were cute, the way they hopped around and, the way their tail seemed to flinch. And then somebody told me that if they bite you, you get rabies and you got to get 30 shots, hypodermic shots into your stomach. So I think that's what incited the fear of squirrels that I had. Thus, these nightmares that came after that. But they would chase me down the block. And I would be running down the block, pulling on car handles, trying, lock. Then I would finally find one and get in. And the window was open, and they're trying to get in. It was a convertible, and they're trying to claw their way through the top. And one is coming in through the window, and it's the kind that you used to have to roll up by hand. And I roll it, get it off the top, and its neck is stuck. And I give it one last thing, and everything goes blank. So obviously, I ripped its head off, whatever. And that's how the dream ended. And it was recurring. When I'm saying recurring 3 times a week, every week from the time I was a kid till I was like 14 or 15. A little later on, it wasn't every week. But it was definitely a few times a month by the time I was, into my teens. And I guess that's where it came from. And, of course, that wasn't on my agenda to speak about today. But when you see this cute little booger over here right outside my window, eating stuff into his cheeks and, on his face, I mean, of course. But I'm watching it right now. I mean, he is... or she, whatever it is. I don't know, I can't tell, but it's on a branch that's maybe as thick as a pen. That's it, nothing, no bigger. And he or she is up on the hind legs and just having fun, eating, checking everything out. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Let me just see something. I want to see if... No, I missed him. All right, never mind. Take it easy, take it easy. It was a joke. Take it easy. You understand? So anyway, all right. So so wish me luck. Keep going. Like I said, I did it. I know it's ridiculous, but I didn't do it for health reasons because I just my chest X-rays, my lung X-rays have been perfect just about all my life. So. And like I said, I usually was not smoking that much anyway, half a pack a day. And the argument would always be with the doctor or the nurses, well, if you're down to half a pack, why don't you just quit the whole thing? I'm like, I don't know. Why don't you go see a dentist? Because I'm going to not get teeth out of you. No, I'm kidding. But, it's something I did enjoy. I have to say that. But when I started looking at the money it's costing, and I started really just like, wait a minute, what the... So, and just in a brief couple of days, I already put $60 into my pocket instead of taking it out. So it's like $120 turnaround. You know what I'm saying? And that's a lot of money. You just keep doing that every day as it adds up and it adds up. And like, for what? It makes no sense. And if you feel better about it and it makes you healthier, and I noticed that even bloating has really almost all but gone away. And so, of course, get on that computer and cigarette smoking. And I always assumed it. There he goes. Okay, thanks for stopping by, Mr. Squirrel. I always assumed it because I would notice that every time I would smoke a cigarette, I would feel like a little bit bloated, And he just flew across from one tree to the other. I'm sorry, I know I'm boring you with this, but it just amazes me. I mean, he flew like Rocky J. Squirrel and Bullwinkle, the flying squirrel. He had to fly. It's got to be 5 feet, if not more, from one branch all the way to the other tree to the other. Landed like nothing. That's amazing. Anyway, so it's good. It's good. You know, it's going to save money. It's going to make me healthy just in time to get hit by a bus. Perfect. Remember, I don't know if anybody remembers that on The Odd Couple when Oscar Madison was in the pool championship. And the guy that he's playing against, Felix, is like, asking him, and how many cigarettes do you smoke a day? And why does it matter? Where do you feel it? You feel it in your throat or in your chest? Why does it matter? The right answer could save your life. I feel it in my throat. Oh, chest. They should have said chest. And so at the very end, Oscar wins. He wins all the money. And he goes, the guy was, Felix goes, he was very upset about my uncle, the one that died. Yeah. Oh, the one that got hit by the bus. So I had nothing to do with the cigarettes. But yeah, it was a good one. So far, everything's okay with Amy. She's in and she's done, and that's perfect. The Senate has adjourned, and I hope it's not just for the winter. I hope they come back. I mean, they're going to have to come back for the elections and everything else. But I don't know if when I say adjourned, they're not going to be holding any more meetings or committees or whatever. And so they adjourned, just like I said they were going, without pushing the stimulus through. They made it look like they wanted to, but I knew they wouldn't. And I'm not a genius for that. It's just very obvious. And, you know their MO, so you just follow them. You knew it was going to happen. Let's try to be friendly until the election, whatever. And then, like I told you all, once it's over, if Donald Trump wins, it'll go through. It'll be one of the very first things that he does. And I would not be surprised if it gets jumped from 1,200 to 1,500 as a thank you. Remember I said that. Remember that on October 28th, 2020. Remember that. And so they come out with a report now that said many nurses were hospitalized in the beginning of this thing back in March and April and treated for COVID-19. And they didn't want to spread that report too far and cause any kind of panic or cause people to be afraid to come to the hospitals. But many of the patients in the hospitals throughout the country in the very beginning were nurses because they were exposed to the virus, and some didn't know it because of the incubation period between that, and then they brought up the poor nurse in Italy that saved literally hundreds and hundreds of lives, and then came down with the COVID-19 virus, and then couldn't handle it in her head that how many people did she infect when she was in the incubation period and didn't even know that she had the virus. And the mere fact that she might have infected people and they lost their lives and families disrupted was so much for the take that she took her own life. So don't ever look at nurses and doctors and everything else, especially, in the hospitals, and think that this is just a business and they don't care. They do care. When they take that oath, they mean it. So, yeah, very sad. Very sad. Why they're coming out with that report now, I don't know. You can blame that on the president or the White House, too. Pretty ridiculous. And Cuckoo Man, Mr. Ted Cruz, and I say that facetiously, but he just makes me laugh with some of the things that he does. He'll go from the extreme right into something that's like, mainstream. And he's going after the CEO, I think the guy's name is Dorsey, of Twitter, for shutting down the whole Biden Ukraine thing, and even more importantly, shutting down the whole Hunter Biden thing with the underage children and a bunch of other stuff. that was completely blocked and taken down off Twitter. And he said to him, you blasted the President Trump's tax returns all over the place, and they were illegally gotten. They weren't handed over. They weren't a matter of public record yet, and they're still not. So somebody leaked them to you, and you had no problem leaving them on Twitter and didn't take them down, even though it was proclaimed to be illegally gotten. So that you leave up, but facts, dates, times, pictures, videos, and everything else you take down. You got to be fair on both sides of your stupidity or both sides of your prejudice. You have to be fair on both sides. And he said to him, who are you to decide what goes on social media or not? And which I understand what he was saying, but it just proves that people don't, even in positions of power, don't understand that the internet is like the Wild West of the 1400s or 1700s and even the 1800s. Uncharted territory, no laws, everybody just, doing what they got to do, fighting for space. That's what this is. So he doesn't have to. He doesn't need permission. He's not guided by freedom of speech. He's not guided by freedom of the press in a Twitter account. It's a social media account of which they own. So they don't have to abide by it. They should, but there are no constitutions in the internet. It's open space. It's open air that these nerds that are now billion upon billion upon billionaires own and direct. And they have ways of getting into every one of our houses, into our pocketbooks, into our lives and everything else. And we still don't understand that. So when a guy like Ted Cruz, who's a very smart, intelligent guy, says, who elected you? Who said you were allowed to, to silence us that way? Ted Cruz has no idea what the internet's about. So until they start, somebody drafts somewhere some kind of rules and regulations for the internet, this is going to continue to happen. And that's why everybody gets all up in arms, and rightfully so. But when they think Russia's tampering and this is tampering, and they're using the wrong word, tampering. They could say hampering, but it's not that they're actually tampering and going in and like changing my vote from Republican to Democrat or from Democrat to Republican, or changing your vote. That's tampering. This is like, encouraging or hampering, if you want to say that, where they'll go and put a whole bunch of phony facts out there against whichever party that they don't want to see win. And, there's a treaty throughout all nations that they're not allowed to interfere in anybody else's elections, especially of this magnitude. But it's wide open. It could be coming from anywhere. I could make up a whole bunch of phony things right here and put it up. They have all kinds of memes where you can do breaking news. And put your own things in there, and people are naive and still believe, having come full-fledged over to, the capabilities of the internet, so they still are from where they were born and raised, that, what's in the newspaper is real and what's reported on the news is real. So this must be real too. And that's how they could be influencing the elections, not tampering, but definitely they could be influencing it by all these fake stories, and it's a lot of time and money wasted in trying to come out and come back and say this is a false story, and then investigate where it came from. And it used to be easy through IP addresses, and now it goes to different things, and it could shoot across the country, back and forth around the world 15 times in 5 seconds, so you can never tell where it came, where it stopped. And so, got that work cut out for it. But I'm glad that he said that anyway, because now that he said it, Zuckermucker there got up and said, I never even looked at social media as an avenue that could ever have any influence over an election. Really? Wow. He's good. He's good. He's a good liar. He's one of the best. So now this came out today. Now, along with what I'm saying, is this fake news, as the president would say? Is this, hampering, influencing, tampering? Did somebody just throw it out there? Or is it true? Which I find hard to believe. But they said that the state of Texas right now is 50-50. 50 for Biden and 50% for Trump. I just don't see that. I just don't see the state of Texas. But you never know. But they're saying it's a 50-50 toss-up. And at the same time, Joe Biden is saying that he's in this and he's gonna beat George. He's gonna beat George. George who? George Bush? Okay. I think you could. In an MMA match, maybe. But, and it's a shame because I'm really not taking shots at him. And I really think it's very cruel in what they did, the Democratic Party, knowing, what he's going through health-wise, and physically and mentally and everything else. And just to keep putting him out there and trying to come up with different ways to, I don't want to say cheat, but enhance him, things in the ear, notes on his sleeve, people standing behind cameras holding up, the cue cards for him to read and everything else. And that's all well and good. But you don't give, to me it appears that way, the Democrats, the Democratic Party, don't give two shits really about Joe Biden. They just want to do the best they can to get the Democrats elected. And then Joe Biden is going to step down and Kamala's going to step in. Maybe Obama's going to step in as Kamala's vice president. We don't know what ridiculously stupid and self-serving ideas they have in the back of their head. But, to watch, as I said yesterday, to watch Joe Biden go take a seat, as the president says, in his basement, which he stole from him. That's what he said. And not campaign, to have Obama step in and campaign and just spend nothing but day after day after day beating the crap out of the president and vice president of the United States, out of every Republican senator and congressperson and everything else. And, and then talking down, just like he did for 8 years, with you people out there who are for him still, realize he talked down to the American people from the time he started his campaign. Even before that, when Michelle was a Michael, they're saying, I don't know. But even before that, but his whole campaign and his whole presidency, he talked down to us. But he did it with a smile, and he did it with polish, like a Bill Clinton kind of polish to it and everything else. Everybody's like, oh no, he's a good guy, he's a good leader, he's a good. But he was talking down. I'm going to take away your bank. I'm going to take away the car loans. I'm going to control it all. Nobody seemed to bother about that. And he used to go crazy. Ma would tell you if she was here. It's come on. Does nobody see he's taking over everything? He's taking over gas. He's bailing out gas stations. He's bailing out hotels. He's bailing out the banks. So he's taking over all the money, all the energy, all the vehicles. What are we doing there? So, wise up, people out there. Do your due diligence. Don't do it because he's cute and he's got a good smile. Not that I think he's cute, so don't get me wrong, but this is what I've heard. Whew, man, I could just hear that now. That'll be on the news. Songfather thinks Obama's cute. So poor Joe is going to beat George Bush, which is good. And then he says the other day, George Bush, I'm Kamala's running mate. And George Bush. Joe Biden, oh God, I'm worse than Joe. And I am Kamala Harris's running mate. And everybody jumped all over him for saying that. You don't even know that he's the one running. I don't think he meant it that way. I didn't think it got to such a point that this guy can't say anything now with people, jumping all over him and misinterpreting what he's saying. And when I heard that, I thought that was damn nice to say. Because, you got pompous people that run. I'm the president. Even, not even, but of course, that's the way he's been his whole life, Donald Trump. But I can't even count the number of times I yelled at the TV and say, when are you going to thank your vice president? It ain't just you. You know what I mean? This guy's got your back 100% all day long. Throw him a bone once in a while. Give him a pat on the back, And so it's kind of the same thing here. So for him to say, I am Kamala Harris's running mate, everybody took that as a sign that it was a slip of the tongue, that she's going to become the president and he's going to drop down to the vice president, while they can see what they can do, so we won't have to be in the limelight as much, and then eventually drop off the whole scene. You got all that from one statement. You could be right. I don't know. But they are each other's running mate, are they not? So I saw nothing wrong with that. So anyway, it's going to be interesting. The time is ticking down. I would, you do what you want. I turn off the TV now, and I'm just Netflixing and Prime, and that's it, because all the local commercials are kicking in now, and nobody. I have yet to see anybody. I don't give a shit what position it is in politics that somebody's running for. Nobody is saying what they're going to do, except Joe, and Joe's saying some ridiculous things, but nobody's saying. All they're doing is taking shots at the opponent, and that's what politics has come to over the years, and that's what I hate to say, but that's what we've gotten used to. And who can take the better shots, or who can recover the best from a knockout punch. And that's who I'm going to vote for. Yeah, okay, yeah, but that's the wrong way to do it. Stop with the taking the shots. Get up and talk about it. Listen, okay, you know what? Sonny Grosso has been the mayor of, say, Merrick for the last, and he's done a fairly good job, but he missed the boat on this, that, and that. And I've done my research, and, I'm gonna reinstill this, and I'm gonna drop the taxes on that in the school. But, okay. At least now you got an idea. All right, this person has got plans. This one wants to do something. That guy Grosso, he's done there. Get him out of there. I don't know. So anyway, here's a mystery in life. Oh, sweet mystery of life. Someone sent me 3 bottles of Sambuca from Italy. Not bought here, that it was 3 bottles from Italy that was bought here. It was shipped to my house from Italy with no card. So I took a picture of it. I was going to put it up on Facebook, and I said, you know what? Let me wait. Just to see, maybe somebody doesn't want it known up there, So I waited to see if I got an inbox, or if I got a message right there on my wall just saying, did you get anything in the mail? Nothing. I haven't heard nothing from nobody. But, shocked beyond compare. My sister Donna downstairs, she goes, it came Monday. Sonny, you got a box delivered here. I said, well, oh, really? Because I know I didn't order anything. And she was, it's kind of heavy, too. I said, right. So I get it. I bring it up. It is wrapped like there's, uranium inside of it. And finally, a good 15 minutes to get it untaped and cut. And I go, oh, look at this, Sambuca. 3 bottles of Sambuca. So, how do I thank whoever did it? I already spoke to people that I know that live in Italy, and they didn't send it to me. Then, of course, I want to know why they didn't send it to me. But, so, if you're out there listening to my podcast while I'm standing here casting pods, please let me know who it was so I can say thank you. It was, what an unbelievable surprise. Very cool. So, okay. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to have some. Well, not right now, but. And I was going to go on and on about the weather person here that I've been ranting about for a long time, but I'm going to let it go today. I'm going to take it easy on my colon, because let me tell you something. The man is he's just nuts. It's not even that he's nuts. He's just very, in my opinion, unprofessional. I've always said, and I've got friends in the business, and Daddy-O had friends in the business too, and, that's where I get it too. My mom and dad were the same that way, never afraid to offer some advice. And I've always told them, when you're doing, if you're doing a remote report, out in the street somewhere, stay away from the phrase, take a look at this. Because you're there. You're on camera. The camera is right there. The camera is looking exactly what you're looking at. So find a different way to phrase it, because it suggests that they're not watching. It suggests that they're looking away from their TV and you're trying to bring them back so you could tell them your story. So don't do it that way, And that's what I think they're doing now with the weather. At least this guy definitely is. It's all over the place. Let's take a look at this. Take a look at that. He starts doing it again, and it should start raining between 1:30 and 2:15. And this and that. It gets me crazy, and I got to stop ranting. I know some people love it, and they like when I go crazy. My mother used to say, Sonny, let it go. Why are you letting that guy get to you? It's not that he's getting to me. It's just, how did he get there? How is he still there? What do you care? Do you want his job? Yes. And she goes, oh, well, that's different. Go to school, become a meteorologist. And I don't need to. The way they do it now, everything's on a computer. If I'm on Channel 4 News and I'm due to go on at 7:00, I'll go outside to 7 and look up in the sky. And if my suit and my hands don't get wet, I know it's not raining. If my hair gets messed up in the wind, I know it's windy. If I can't see the streets, it is all white and blinding white, and then I know it's snowing. I don't need to go through these minute details that exactly at 2:17 p.m. we should see this. I don't know. Whatever. Rant is over. And, okay, good. Up here in New York, too, I said it yesterday. I believe I did. But the blah blah is really pushing it now, and now he's got Cuomo doing the same thing, which I predicted. And I'm going to keep saying that. Not that I'm the only one that's predicting it, but I might be the only one that's saying it. And so yesterday and today, blah blah says no traveling. Everybody should stay home and don't do any traveling. Okay, how would you enforce that, or why would you try to enforce that? I don't know. Okay, but it's because of COVID and it's spiking and it's getting out of control and this and that. Then at the same time, Cuomo is saying we're the second best in the United States after reports just came out that said that we weren't. They're just that they're doing more tests. What? If Kansas, for argument's sake, is supposed to be the only one that's better than us, if Kansas is only testing 500 people a day, so the chances are they're going to have more people come back, or their numbers are going to reflect that not that many people are coming down with new cases of it, as compared to New York, who might be doing 5,000 tests a day. So, at that kind of high number, you're bound to find more people. You're confusing the shit out of everybody. And then he says to tell the people in your family that you love them. I'm telling you just like he said it. And you say to them, I love you. I care about you. That's why I don't want you over for Thanksgiving dinner. I want everybody to stay home and not get together this year. So, because I love you. I've been trying to do that since I was a kid. Are you kidding? But, it's just all politics, and it gets me a little stupid, and it gets me a little crazy. So which is it? Our numbers are good because we're testing more, or our numbers are bad because we're testing more, or Kansas is the best in the United States because they're testing less than everybody else. You're talking out of every orifice of your body, and we're supposed to sit back and follow your guidelines, and it's almost impossible. So are we in an epidemic again? Is the pandemic full blown again as the weather changes? Okay, in other countries, Europe, the Midwest is some of the worst in the world so far. They're saying now with all new cases, and then at the same time, this is all in one day. Then at the same time, they're saying the odds, if you have already went through the COVID battle. The odds are very, very good that you'll never get it again. But meanwhile, they were talking about people that have gotten it again. Yeah, that's very rare. It's going to happen, but it's very, very almost next to impossible to get it, to that severity for a second time. Who wrote that statement for you? You can't predict what kind of severity it's going to come back. You can't predict if it's going to come back. If everything points to the fact that it shouldn't come back because you got this and your antibodies are up and you got this and this is all before it is even a freaking vaccine, then how can you say it won't come back? How do you know? You don't know. And sure enough, there are now people complaining very, very adamantly and very scared now because you said I would never get it back. I have it back. What's going to happen to me now? And now the panic sets in. So now because of that panic, they're also predicting once the vaccine is done and the United States and the world has been vaccinated, there will be far more reaching health problems after the vaccine, and mental health problems. That's how the whole COVID might even come back, even with the vaccine. And again, I'm not patting myself on the back, but they said exactly what I said 2 days ago. Or was it last week? You have 5 strains of the flu traveling around the United States and around the world, and we have a vaccine for 1. How many different strains of this COVID are there? How many other strains might be, incubating right now in the ground, in the air? Or if it is some kind of germ warfare, how many more strains are being made at, garages and basements throughout the world before that gets released again? So is the vaccines only going to be good for 1 strain of the COVID? Is it going to be like the flu? 25,000, I think it's higher, but they said 25,000 people in the United States died from the flu last year. I would bet my ass it was more than that, but even still, that's a tough number to take. But if there's 5 strains, why is there only 1 vaccine? That makes no sense. Get your flu shot. Okay, I got it. Doc, I don't feel good. Yeah, you got the flu. I got the what? You got the flu. You told me to get the flu shot. You gave me the flu shot. Yeah, but not for this kind. Why not? Well, there is none. There is none what? There's no vaccine for this strain. Wow. You're playing with our lives out there, farmer. Not farmer, F-A-R-M-E-R. No, P-H-A-R-M-A. Playing with our lives. And it's got to stop. I'm sending Joe Biden over to your house. So anyway, too much talking today. With the lack of cigarettes, everything's opening up. You can hear me sniffling. So, yeah, they said, so anyway, long-term medical and mental effects are about to come once the vaccine is done, so everybody should not get lulled to sleep. So you're getting that message. You're getting the mayor of New York City. I'm just talking about here. And you can go over to Jersey, too, because he's saying the same thing. But the mayor of New York City is saying, everybody do not travel. Please do not leave the city. Don't go to other states. Don't go on vacation. Spend the holidays home, okay? That? And the governor of the state of New York is saying we're the best in the United States. Nobody has done a better job than us. We have the lowest number of cases in the whole United States, and we should be proud of ourselves. By the way, don't have people over for the holidays and, just take a pass this year because you love them and you don't want to see them die. What the fuck? Oh, my God. Which is it, man? Which is it? We're the best state in the whole United States, and we should be an example for the rest of the world, as he has said many times. Okay? So if we are that good, and if we are that great, then the numbers are bullshit, because then why should we have to worry about? Why should I have to worry, even though everybody's passed away now, except my sisters? But why should I have to worry, Or why should anybody have to worry about getting together with your own family? Okay? Get some of them home tests out that was supposed to be out 2 months ago. Like the home pregnancy tests, get them out. Get them available. People are buying. You don't have to worry about giving them out. People are buying. Tell the people to do their own testing. If the lines are too long, you don't want people waiting on lines. With the testing places, they need more places set up where people could go. I would do that. I had no problem with that. It was like the old days, and it was a whole bunch of us getting together, not a ton, but maybe 15 people, maybe 18 people to get together for Christmas or Thanksgiving. You know what? Before you do it, do me a favor. What? go get one of those free tests over there, and just make sure you're not bringing anything in. Due diligence. Do it that way. But stop giving all the mixed messages, all right? I hope they're listening to me. I know they are. I know they listen every day. What is Grosso saying today? Friggin' know it all. But what are you going to do? All you can do is avoid that. And the only reason I did that is, I don't know if you saw it the other day. I think it was Monday. Biden is making a speech somewhere, and he takes off the mask to cough, and then puts it back on. And I'm not just taking shots at him. I've seen other people do it too, so don't get me wrong. But to see a guy that is like really on top of this whole COVID thing, and he thinks many mistakes were made and how to handle it and everything else, and how he takes precautions, and he's as from day one, and he removes the mask to cough and then puts it back on. I just found it hilarious. I don't know. Sometimes I just like to make you people laugh, because you gotta laugh. Because it's only life, and you never get out of it alive anyway. Correct? Correct. All right, so I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to send this out to my sister Tina. And I think in all the reporting and all the half-truths, lies of omission, which I can't stand worse than actually being lied to my face, is a lie of omission. With all that I'm flying around now, and they will be until the election, I think we have to do a little self-medication to for ourselves, but not with medicine. I don't mean it that way. We need to establish a nice, as the Eagles say, a nice, peaceful, easy feeling, and just chill out. Turn the TVs off if it really bothers you that much, because I don't see anything worthwhile that's going to come now through these political commercials over the next what is it? I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 days, 6 days, whatever it is. Nothing of any substance, of any educational value is going to come through. So turn the TVs off, and only put on wrestling and soap operas, because that's the only truth out there. So I love you all. Have a good rest of the Wednesday. And be careful, especially on the island along and points north and west, because it is damn cold out, number one. And if there's any truth to what they were saying with the moisture coming in and the cold front hitting, at the very least, it's going to make for some slippy groundwork. And the leaves are on the ground, and so they're going to get soaking wet. So just take it easy, huh? Get a nice, peaceful, easy feeling, if you don't mind. And do something nice for people out there. And we'll see you tomorrow for day number 5. Oh, wait, Sunday to Monday, Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Monday. Day number 4, we're at 3.5 of no cigarettes. Not bad. I think I'm doing okay. All right, ciao, ciao. Love you.
I like the way your sparkling earrings lay against your skin so brown. And I want to sleep with you in the desert tonight, with a billion stars all around. 'Cause I got a peaceful, I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. And I found out a long don't already know how to go. And I got a peaceful, easy feeling, and I know you won't let me down, 'cause I'm already standing on the ground. I get this feeling I may know you as a lover and a friend, but this voice keeps whispering in my other ear, tells me I may never see you again, 'cause I get a peaceful,